Hey guys, welcome back. Get ready for 15 fun riddles to put your observation skills and brain power to the test. You'll have just 10 seconds to spot each answer. No second chances, no going back. Let's jump straight in. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe for more amazing quizzes. Round 1 starts now. Questions 1. A group of friends went camping in the woods for the weekend. Late at night, everyone gathered around the campfire to roast marshmallows, but soon after, the fire was left burning alone while everyone slept. Look carefully at all three campers and figure out who wandered off and left the campfire unattended. A and C are both dry, seated calmly near the tent, showing no signs of recent movement. They clearly stayed put all evening, but B tells a different story. Their shoes are still wet from the nearby stream, with muddy footprints leading straight to the fire pit, and a fishing rod rests nearby. It's B who wandered off to fish and forgot the flames were still burning. Challenge 2. Two friends sat down for a heated one-on-one card game, both determined to win. Midway through, one of them secretly gained an unfair advantage. Look carefully at both players and figure out who is cheating during the game. A has both hands resting naturally on the table, with a card count that matches exactly what's expected at this point in the game. Nothing unusual there. B, however, has a hidden card peeking out from beneath their leg, matching exactly what's needed to win. B's hand rests stiffly on their thigh instead of the table, confirming they slipped a card underneath to cheat. Challenge 3. During a quiet evening at home, a family noticed their favorite vase lying shattered on the living room floor. No one admitted to breaking it, but a small clue nearby reveals the truth. Look closely at all three family members and figure out who accidentally knocked over the vase. B and C are relaxed on the couch with drinks in hand, clearly uninvolved and nowhere near the shelf. The real clue is closer to A. A scuff mark trails from the shelf to a toy ball resting near their chair. A sits closest to the shelf with a guilty expression, and the ball's bounce path lines up perfectly, confirming A knocked the vase down. Challenge 4. A family returned home after running errands, only to realize later that the front door had been left completely unlocked all afternoon. Look carefully at everyone in the picture and figure out who forgot to lock the door on their way inside. A and C are already settled indoors, one reading and one watching TV, meaning neither of them went in or out recently. The real clue is outside. The key is still visible hanging in the lock as B walks away carrying grocery bags. B's rushed posture and slipping bags confirm they forgot to turn the key. Challenge 5. It was a busy morning at the office, and everyone was working hard at their desks. Suddenly, someone noticed important documents were ruined by a fresh coffee stain. Look carefully at everyone in the office and figure out who spilled their coffee on the papers. Before revealing the answer, if you guessed A, drop a like. If you guessed B or C, comment your answer below before scrolling down. B and C are calmly typing at clean desks, with no drinks or stains anywhere near them. The mess is all on A's side. A tipped-over cup sits beside their keyboard, with a fresh stain spreading across the papers in front of them. A looks startled, reaching for tissues, confirming they're the one who spilled their coffee. Challenge 6. Two business partners sat across from each other, signing the final contract for their new company. Both seemed confident, but one small detail reveals something neither had mentioned before. Look closely at how each person is signing and figure out who is actually left-handed. A shows a natural right-handed grip, with a clean signature and no smudging anywhere on the page. B is the exception. The pen angle is unusual, and ink smudges trail right to left across the page. A faint ink mark on B's wrist, common among left-handed writers, confirms it. B is signing with their left hand. Challenge 7. At a birthday party, a beautifully decorated cake was placed on the table for everyone to enjoy. By the end of the celebration, one guest had secretly gone back for more than their fair share. Look carefully at all three guests and figure out who snuck an extra slice of cake. A and C are engaged in conversation with empty hands, clearly not holding any food, and uninvolved in the missing slice. B is a different story. A frosting smear is visible on their collar, and their plate has noticeably more crumbs than the others. Standing closest to the cake table and turned slightly away from the group, B is the one who snuck back for seconds. Challenge 8. During a normal school day, the fire alarm suddenly went off, sending students rushing into the hallway. No one claimed responsibility, but a small clue near the science lab tells another story. Look carefully at all three students and figure out who accidentally triggered the alarm. B and C walk calmly through the hallway with backpacks on, showing no smoke exposure or signs of recent lab activity. The evidence points to A instead. Faint smoke residue marks their sleeve, and a burnt paper scrap lies near their feet by the lab door. The lingering smell near A confirms an unsupervised experiment set off the alarm. Challenge 9. Two drivers pulled into a busy parking lot at the exact same time, both eyeing the last open spot near the entrance. One of them ended up parking in a space reserved for someone else. Look carefully at both vehicles and figure out who took the parking space that didn't belong to them. A is parked neatly in a marked space further from the entrance, walking calmly toward the building without any rush. B's car tells a different story. It sits crooked, taking up extra space, with a knocked-over reserved sign lying beside it. The uneven, rushed parking job confirms B is the one who took the reserved spot. Challenge 10. During recess, students were playing happily outside when a loud crash echoed through the schoolyard. A classroom window was left shattered, and everyone denied any involvement. Look carefully at all three students and figure out who accidentally broke the window. Before revealing the answer, if you chose B, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next quiz. If you chose A or C, give this video a like instead. A and C are seen carrying a soccer ball and jump rope, unrelated to the type of damage on the window. B is the exception. A baseball rests just beneath the shattered glass, and B is the only one holding a matching glove. Glancing nervously toward the window, B is confirmed as the one whose stray throw caused the break. Challenge 11. Late one night, a family fell asleep without realizing something in the kitchen had been left wide open. By morning, spoiled food gave away what happened. Look carefully at all three family members and figure out who left the refrigerator door open overnight. B and C are already asleep in their rooms in the background, clearly not involved in any late-night kitchen trip. A is the one caught in the act. A half-eaten sandwich sits beside an open jam jar near the fridge, and A is seen yawning and walking off sleepily. The unfinished snack confirms A forgot to close the fridge after their late-night bite. Challenge 12. Two roommates came home after a long day, right after the apartment floor had just been freshly mopped. Minutes later, muddy footprints appeared across the clean hallway. Look carefully at both roommates and figure out who is responsible for the muddy footprints. A is wearing clean indoor slippers, having already changed out of their outdoor shoes near the entrance. B is the culprit. Thick mud coats their shoe soles, with matching footprints trailing straight from the door to where they now stand. The muddy trail lines up perfectly with B's stride, confirming they tracked the dirt through the hallway. Challenge 13. A family rushed out the door for an important appointment, forgetting something cooking in the kitchen behind them. Look carefully at all three family members and figure out who forgot to turn off the stove before leaving the house. B and C are already outside, chatting near the car with no urgency in their movements, clearly not the last ones in the kitchen. A is still inside. Smoke rises faintly from a pot on the stove, visible just behind them as they grab their car keys in a hurry. A's rushed posture confirms they were the last one cooking before everyone left. Challenge 14. Two siblings were the only ones home when a jar of freshly baked cookies was left on the kitchen table. By the afternoon, the jar was completely empty, and both denied touching it. Look carefully at both siblings and figure out who secretly finished the last cookie. A sips a glass of juice with clean hands, showing no crumbs or signs of snacking nearby. B, however, gives it away. Crumbs are visible near their mouth, and the now empty jar sits closest to where they're seated. Avoiding eye contact and looking down instead of speaking up, B is confirmed as the one who secretly finished the cookies. Challenge 15. At the office, an important project file suddenly went missing from the shared computer system. Panic spread through the team, but one small detail on a nearby screen reveals what really happened. Look carefully at everyone in the office and figure out who accidentally deleted the file. A and B are working normally at their desks, focused and calm, with nothing unusual on their screens. C's screen tells a different story. An error message still lingers there, and a sticky note beside their keyboard reads "Recover file." C's tense posture, compared to the calm expressions of the others, confirms they're the one who accidentally deleted the file. So, how many did you solve before the timer ran out? Drop your score in the comments, and if this quiz got your brain working, hit subscribe for a brand new mystery every week. See you in the next one.